Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Ask Victor video. This is the one for the month of April. So this video is answering the questions that were placed in the Ask Victor of March. And yeah, and if you want me to continue this series of videos, please leave the questions in the comments below and I will answer them more or less in 1 month. I try to do it once a month, more or less in the middle of the month. And here we are. So here we go with the questions from the previous week, and please don't forget to leave the questions in the comments below. I have the computer in front of me, so I will read them directly from the computer. So the first question is from Scarlock the Wanderer. AOS question: Warhammer Fantasy Battle was mainly 2D game. Okay, some creatures could fly, but they were in fact more jumping than flying. Do you think AOS is partially becoming 3D game with some units remaining in the air and therefore remaining out of close combat range of ground units? I don't know exactly which units are you referring so far. I think most of the units are still on the ground. I think it's very difficult to do 3D games because we cannot keep the miniatures flying during the game, and this is difficult. Even in 40k, where we have flyers, they cannot be reached in close combat. I still think that it's mainly 2D, so representing the flying miniatures or the flying units is always a problem in these games. I was also thinking about Gothic. Gothic was supposed to be a fights between spaceships was mainly also 2D. So I will say most of the games are 2D 90%, 95%, 100% of the time, with some special rules for flyers, but I think flyers are something that is very difficult to incorporate or to include in these games. I still think for me AOS is still a 2D game, depending of course on the scenario. But even Shadow War, Armageddon, or Necromunda or Morhaime, that we have more terrain, it's mainly 2D, or you can say 3D because you have the space, but there is not a good representation so far on flyers, and I think it's a difficult task. So I would say for me all the games are still 2D with some special rules for flyers that are not really 3D. It's not, they cannot show the full aspect of the 3D of the real life, and I think it's a very difficult call to do. And Scarlock the Wanderer also a second battery of questions. So AOS questions: would you like to see Games Workshop producing new AOS terrains other than the current SE and the KB ones? I guess it's the current ones we have from AOS. Which types? Would you agree it would be nice to have all new releases also getting a specific terrain scenario? I think so. I think it will be great to see terrain specific for each faction. As we have, yeah, this is a good idea to have, for example, when you have a new unit of undead, have a specific terrain for undead. This looks like a fun thing. What I would like to see is buildings that are not ruins. So far, also in 40k and in AOS, we see that there is a lot of ruins. I would like to see a few buildings that we see now in 40k, that we have seen the terrain from Shadow War Armageddon, that is a factor that is not destroyed. I would like to see the same in AOS. I would like to see a temple that is not destroyed or something like that. I know that means that the scenario can be big. I would like to see a big kit of a scenario that can be done, like the old castle, but something less bulky. Maybe houses, something like that. Some scenario that is not destroyed or is not in ruins. This may be the thing I would like to see. Next questions. Thanks a lot for all these questions, Scarlock. Let's go to the next question. This is from El Waxana 10 or Waxana 10. Sorry if I don't spell right the name. Waxana 10, something like that. Victor, I was wondering how to paint tartans. It's my guild brewers team. Thank you for your videos. Thanks to you for watching my videos. I respond this with a painting of the week. I did a video explaining how I will do tartans. Maybe I will do another one. I was not 100% happy how I did the first one. Maybe I will repeat and I will try to do different patterns for the tartans. But it was quite interesting to look at that. The point is I don't have miniatures that they can wear tartans. I don't have like a Scottish like miniature or something like that. So I need to think how I will do this for future. Thanks for the question. Cole Martin wanted to say that I'm a big fan of your videos and I hope you keep going strong. I do have a question though. Do you own and use an airbrush? If so, in what situations do you find it to be most useful? If you don't own, why not? So I don't have airbrush. The reason I don't have airbrush is, yeah, I never did the investment for airbrush. I think airbrush is a good tool. It's another tool that I don't have at this moment. I think several times to invest in airbrush. I know that it's not that expensive, but so far I'm very happy. I think with the regular brush I can do a lot of things. Where I think airbrush is giving a lot, and maybe this is a miss that I have, is when you want to paint big surfaces like vehicles or big monsters. Here the airbrush is excelling you, it's helping a lot. When you want to do color degradation, color gradients, also airbrush can make this very softly. I have seen some very nice harlequins paint with airbrush using masks. So I think airbrush is a great tool. So far I will not invest on that. I still keep thinking from time to time if I will use an airbrush in future, but it requires also a lot of practice as the regular brush, and it's a different techniques, but I think it's a very good complementary. People that say that airbrush is not painting, I think it's mistaken. It's different techniques, it's another tool, and I think if you have one you should use it. I think it's not cheating and it's nothing like that. I don't have any because so far I'm happy with how I'm painting with the brush. I don't need to speed up my painting, I have enough paint to play. But most likely if I go for airbrush is to be able to do better job, be faster on doing the base coats. I guess at the beginning I will be slower because you have to clean the airbrush, you have to change the paint and all these type of things at the beginning, and then when you don't have practice it takes longer than expected. But also once you are controlling that, you can do things that are more difficult in brush. You can almost replicate what you do in airbrush with brush, but sometimes the work required, the whole difficulties on brush is much difficult than doing by airbrush. So I don't know, I still think on that, but so far in the short term I will not own an airbrush. And yeah, I keep, as you can see in my tutorials, I only use non-regular brush. Thanks a lot for the question, it's very interesting and it's a thing that is still on my hand. Call Martin. Next question is from Vince Venturella. New questions. Are you going to be painting Gilman? Of course, yes, and it's going to be my next tutorial. Are you hoping to participate in any painting oriented competitions this year? I will keep participating for sure in the local store painting competitions. I enjoy them. I will also, it's not really painting competition, but I will see if I will try to participate again on the Army on Parade competition. I enjoyed the painting competitions, and I will keep playing them and going them. I was wanting to participate in other ones more, but this, yeah, at the end I did not win because I was busy with other things and I was not able to do. But it's a thing that I'm looking for to, and I want to participate not because of the prizes. I want to participate because I want the feedback. And I think by forcing you participating in this contest is another way for you to improve and to go to the next level. What do you think is going to happen between Gathering Storm 3 and the release of the next 40k editions? This is a good point. I think they are going to take some of the learnings from Age of Sigmar, from the transition of Fantasy Battles to Age of Sigmar. I don't think they will be as radical as they have been on Age of Sigmar. But I expect quite a big change on 8th edition, especially after the news that Games Workshop put in Adepticon. So what I expect is, I don't know in fluff if it will change a lot. I would love to see what happens with the Emperor, if they kill at the end the Emperor or not, on what happens if the Emperor dies. I think killing the Emperor will be a very interesting step. I think we are going to see more Primarchs coming. I think have been very successful seeing Magnus the Red coming back, Gilliman coming back. I think Mortarion is in the way, that is the Death Guard Primarch, and I expect to see more Royal Primarchs, and I hope to see Lionel Johnson, what is one of my favorite Primarchs. So looking forward to see that. Very interesting. I think 40k is going to have a big change. Not as big as Fantasy compared to Age of Sigmar, but some big changes, and I think they will include some mechanics that were lost during the second to third, like the shooting modifiers and other type of stuff. Let's see. I hope Games Workshop have learned a lot from Age of Sigmar, and they will compensate the mistakes they did. But looks very interesting, and I really enjoy know the evolution of Warhammer 40k. Yes, thanks a lot, Vince. And then go to the next, Alexander. Great video. I have no questions, but I want to share two additional websites for great inspiration. Yeah, in the last previous one, I talk about things that are inspiring me to painting. So he's sharing with me two different websites. One, I really know it. I was used to look at is one of my inspiration sites. The other one was new to me, and I really thank you. It's put in on my favorites, and it's another great source of inspiration. You can see this on the, if you are interested, the links are in the comments of my previous Ask Victor. Thanks a lot, Alexander, for sharing that. We go to the next one, Edic Beer 40k, great channel, as well as Vince Venturella channel. These are great channels, and I really encourage you to subscribe to them. Great answers, Victor. Do you think you will be happy being full-time commissioning painter? To be fair, I think about that a couple of times. I don't think so. I love painting, but I love painting for myself. I did some commissions, and I think I will get bored out if I do commissioning painting. I enjoy painting, but I enjoy collecting. And I think the two things for me are going together. So, and I have the feeling commission painting is not, at least the feeling I have, is not well paid, or you cannot do, is not a thing that you can do to sustain a family. You can do it if you want as a complementary job, but I think you need another source of income. Because I think that if you want really to, yeah, if I invest, I don't know, let's put 3 hours on a miniature, I will not charge what I'm earning now on 3 hours on my regular job, and this I think is the problematic part. So I think a couple of times to be commissioned painting, and the other problem I have, I like to paint to a good standard, so I will not feel comfortable just to rush painting, just to leave the commission out. So this is what I'm not doing that. I think twice I did some commission works in the past, but I don't think I will be a good commissioning painter as full-time job. It's a very interesting question, Edic Beer. And then the last one is from Andy G. What do you think of the coming Games Workshop specialist games announced, such as Armageddon Shadow War? And are there any all specialist games that you will have a personal interest and would like to see return? I think Games Workshop is doing a very clever thing on this new specialist game. They are not creating miniatures specialized for this, except on Blood Pool, nor the other games. You can use the same miniatures that you use for Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar. they're exactly the same miniatures. They are not creating special miniatures for these games. Even for Silver Tower, they create special miniatures. These miniatures can be used anyway in iOS. And I think this is very clever, because then you don't need to keep a special range of miniatures for this. And this is what I think Epic, Gothic and other games like that they need their own miniatures, will have difficulties to come. Because the good thing of this specialist game is that you put the box there, and then people, for example Shadow War, for me what is very interesting on this game is that you put the rules that are the old Necromunda, but have the big advantage from business point of view versus the old Necromunda, that you are using the same miniatures that are used for 40k. And this is really big advantage, because this is not creating more inventory in your miniatures. So the miniatures that you put in there are not specialized for Shadow War. Even the miniatures that come inside of the game are the same that you can use are the same sprues that used in 40k for the same kits, like the scouts or the boys. So what I think is this is very clever. So it's much better this than having gangs and then to have to put out a new range of gangs. I think the only case that they are putting new range of miniatures is for Blood Bowl. I think Blood Bowl is super specialized that you cannot mix with other games. But I'm betting that most of the specialist games that we are going to see in future, they will use miniatures from the mainstream games. And when I say mainstream games, I mean AOS and Warhammer 40k. One game that I would love to see is Gothic. I really like the spaceships battles. I miss Gothic, and I would love to see more people playing Gothic, but it's not something that you can see easily. I don't think Games Workshop will put Gothic back, because this means that they have to put a new range of miniatures out. I think it's Forge World, it's a better place to put Gothic, because then there's more niche market and they can play this role. And I think this is what if ever this game appears, is what's going to happen. I'm really thinking that the more games that we are going to see are going to be like Betrayal of Kath, like Warhammer Quest, where we are using the same miniatures as Age of Sigmar, and like Shadow War Armageddon. Even the new game that is coming, very interesting, the new game for inspired on iOS, the new competitive game. This is going to be very interesting, but again, I think we are going to see these special miniatures that are coming in the game, but most likely the miniatures that are used in that game, and how is called this game? I forgot now the name. The new the new fantasy game that will come most likely in autumn. But most likely these miniatures will be compatible as well in iOS. So, and I think this is a very clever way to put new games. So you put flankers, but these flankers are using the same miniatures. So in that way you control your inventory. You are not risking to overdo with your inventory. You are not risking to do niche miniatures. So the miniatures can be used also in the mainstream games. And this is helping you to keep more or less everything under control. And at the same time putting out there new games that are that can be a good introduction games for other people into the hobby. Like I think Shadow War is one example, and I'm fully thinking that the new game Shadowsphere, I think it's called Shadowsphere, is going to be also very interesting. And that's all what I have in these questions. I hope you find my questions interesting, my answers interesting. Please, if you want to keep this series going, leave your questions in the comments below. I really enjoy answering your questions. They also make me think. There are some of them that are almost as good as for a topic of the week or for a paint and talk, and maybe I will take some of these and I will go deeper and I will dedicate more time so I can explain better my thoughts. That's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.